We got ourselves shield pills over for the Team 1. Make it a return as a Night Elf. At least you're not a panda this time, but a Night Elf. Actually, I think it's my favorite version of Chill Pills. It's Chill Pills as a Night Elf. This looks like a chat. Diabolicals join into the arenas with Paige. Going to be first time Paige actually gets to play this time around. I think Paige has been waiting to play for a while, but just hasn't had a chance whatsoever. Diabolicals opening up as a Destruction Warlock, opening up those gates. And that's going to be immediately a Shadowy Portal, as well as a Chaos Portal, blasting them out. Succubus CC putting him out in the open with Soulfire, Shadow Fury. Big damage, and Paige is trying to see if he can walk out. Looks like the crystal of a Bonds of Fel does dissipate right before he leaves its area. Diabolicals with a reflect in case there's a Hodge waiting for him. Does get interrupted on a Chaos Bolt, which does give Paige a little bit of a go into a final wreck. Trying to see if he can make a big play. Does he have a stun to follow? Hodge potentially. Paige taking a lot of damage. Big Infernal down. Does go for the bubble. Diabolicals looking to use some mobility to escape him. Paige still had wings for a moment. May be able to still continue to heal himself with that healing hands talent. Into a Mortal Call Fury. Chaos Bolt. May just put him in a bad spot. Oh, second bolt. Second bolt does not leave their fingertips. And that's going to be getting them so far out of that Succubus CC. Oh, Paige. I love how they were left with like 1 health at the end of it. I am so surprised. Haster charging out immediately, trying not to let Diabolicals get any more of a go. Silence of the Diabolics as he goes in for a bit of a dark pack. Succubus CC onto Haster. Gonna be a big old mind games of Diabolicals. Does have interruptions, but not a single one reach Diabolicals. I guess it is a pretty small target to hit, isn't it? You can avoid and get and squeeze in between of them. Wall up for Diabolicals. Try to see if he can maximize that play here versus Haster. Dropping down a big Shadow Crunch. Bonds of Fel with his Soulfire. It's forcing him to just move. Breaking the bonds. Is going to be able to port around him. Trying to summon up even more portals. Shadow Fury into Haze. Can't really go anywhere. Can heal himself. Big Soulfire. Try to see if he can complete it, but couldn't quite do it. It is a long cast for you to complete. Try to use it off of that fear or off of that stun. But it's going to be a fear out of Haze. Bonds of Fel around the corner. Got himself yet another portal. It is a good one. It's doing quite a bit of damage. It's a good mix between burst and sustain. Silence on a Haster does interrupt it back onto himself. I didn't realize he's interrupted himself. He silenced himself off Diabolicals' reflect. That's unfortunate. But Haste was able to disperse a lot of the birds. Diabolicals did sink in a couple of bolts into him. So that is actually pretty good for Haste. That's a lot of resources he was able to soak up. Stun, but it's going to be Succubus CC immediately triggers out of it. Fear onto the Warlock. As was a Succubus has Diabolicals all by himself. Silences him before the reflect comes out. This is where Diabolicals taking a lot of damage. That Mindful Insanity actually has a bit of a reach, doesn't it? He just kept channeling it even through a wall, even through those distances. Diabolicals in that execute range. Mortal Call sending in a haste, picking up a little bit of health. Succubus CC, Soulfire, quick casting. It's going to be Shadow Fury right after. This is where you want to make sure you get the most amount of damage. Does go Soul Burn with a Warlock Hellstone, summoning up a full-on Infernal. As long as you keep Haste slowed, you may be in a good spot. It's going to be opening up a portal. Hey, Flash Heal is going to be up for Haste. I'm trying to see if he can heal through this. The Chaos Bolt for the portal does end up collapsing on him. Second Chaos Bolt to follow, putting in a lot of pressure. Another portal opener up, just putting even more sustained output with all the shadowy bolts flying in. Haste is just in a bad spot right now. Needs some kind of CC, needs some kind of a heal. That's going to be a Succubus CC, does not break to damage immediately as the Chaos Bolt getting sent in. Haste at low health could go for Power Life, but looks like a man trying to see if he can survive it, but couldn't quite do it. I think at the end, Diabolicals may have had him with like a Mortal Call or something. Flavor of the Month is going to be up next. So far, this man has had himself a hell of a damage streak. There's still a full team 1 ready to go and ready to fight. Can he potentially take down Diabolicals here? Try to see if he can do it. That's going to be a big board. Does charge after him with a Blaze Storm. Oh, it's chopping right through him. Doesn't give him a chance. Does commit a lot of damage for him as we hit in the 5-minute mark. Those duels between Diabolicals and Paladin and Haster, those lasted for a while, man. We're in the 5-minute mark. This could take us a while. And Atomic going to be up next with the Stormbolt on the Flavor of the Month. Trying to see if he can parry him out here. Going to be a quick break out of the Fear for Flavor. It's going to be a stun onto Atomic. And Atomic going in for a big execute. Fear onto him. Does Zerker Rage out of it. It's going to go for a leap towards Flavor. Flavor is going to have to use everything he can in order to see if he can just take down Atomic. Atomic still does have a parry. So for Flavor, that's going to be pretty good. Or for Flavor, it could be pretty bad. For Atomic, it would be really, really good. Defense sets for Flavor of the Month, I don't really know if you can really do much about this. I think it's over. Yeah, Atomic just walks at him with a parry. Not much you can really do with that situation. Big zap by Chicago, trying to prevent Atomic from being able to go for a proper reset as Wolves are coming in, or rather Raptors, Frosty and Fire Raptors. So you do want to go for the Frosty hits, Fiery hits, or potentially even an Elemental Blast in order to maximize your damage as you are playing Elemental Wolves. Does he have him here? Big Ele Blast. It looks like Atomic was able to survive it. Is going to go for a bit of a charge over Chicago. Reflect is up. Atomic is trying to see if he can leap away. As long as he has a Flame Shock, he won't be able to get himself a proper heal. Earth Elemental is going to put in the pressure, just again denying any kind of healing from a second one from the warrior. As long as you can just do any kind of ability just to harass the enemies so at least their health takes damage, they can never get value on that second win. Does go in for the board. Big zaps out of Chicago. Stormbolt by the warrior, but does go for the trinket just to make sure they can take down the warriors. Chicago, that's a pretty ballsy move as a light beside the paladin walking at you. Could potentially be a Stormbolt, a Hodge, or a blind combo by Light Messiah. And Chicago will not have an answer for it. There goes the Hodge. Looks like it's a mid yard. Light Messiah could go for a full blind. Try to see if he can catch up to Chicago. Final Wreck is going to try to use the Rapture mobility to hopefully escape him, but can he do it? Blind to follow. This is an opportunity for the Paladin to make a big play, but looks like breaking his own blind. Chicago using a wall and just getting backing up out of there. Whatever Maelstrom they got in mana, using that for recovery. Light Messiah backing up for a second, actually taking a little bit of damage. Looks like Chicago maybe be able to turn around, get counter aggressive with Light. Does have the big zaps to follow as well. Light backing up out of there entirely. Double Raptors are in. Lightning and Frosty Raptors could give Chicago maybe a bit of a play, especially when it comes to lightning bolts or potentially big frost shocks. Chicago just needs to get himself a bit of a setup, looking for a smallest bit of recovery. Maybe as Light is trying to go for Flash of Light, could maybe get an interrupt on him if he's trying to go for a cast. Lightning Lassa could be a bubble here out of Light Messiah. Sunder to follow. I think it's over. Oh, I don't know if he was trying to hold on to the bubble later or what, but he wasn't able to use it. Zabuza going to be up next, looking like a straight up gladiator out of the gladiatorial arena. Chicago backing up out of there for a moment as Zabuza did use his mobility really early on. That is full wings out of the Paladin too. No, it's not real wings. I think he got wings as like a proc wings. So he still has real wings, I think. Maybe? I'm not sure actually. Paladin wings never really showed up properly on the UI. Gonna be an eye for an eye, but Chicago maybe. Oh my, I think that was real wings. I think that might have been real wings. Chupa's going to be up next as a Frosty Death Knight charging out towards Chicago. He needs to solve the Shaman threat if he wants to be able to bring it back for his team. Using Wraith to walk in, but Elastic going to stop him. Root to follow. Try to see if he can go for a couple of those strikes of a blitz. He's going to trick it out of the root just to catch up to Chicago. Locking him down with a stun. Potentially maybe get a proper slow in the guy. You could make a good play. Lasso did quite a lot of damage here too with one of the Raptors being a Lightning Raptor. It does empower your nature hits into a full stun out of the remote. Went to Chicago with a wall. Trying to go for a bit of a heal. Big blitz back to back. 4 shields with yet another stun Raptor. Chicago needs Maelstrom in order to heal themselves immediately. Does get himself a bit of Maelstrom, but it's not really enough healing. Maybe has to go counter aggressive. Does get a root skill pills as he's trying to go for a grip, and it's going to be grounding totem. Letting Chicago at least get himself a bit of escape, but looks like they died. Huh? Wait, was that battle message Ricky just fell off at the last second? That must have been it, man. That must have been it. No way. Drinking out a demonic, as it gets hit with the blind by Chupas. Disarming the Frosty Death Knight. He can try to see if he can avoid him. Vanish out of the rogue. Not gonna let this Death Knight escape. He got him in his sights. Not gonna happen. Chicago does bring it back for the team though. Quite a bit of damage. Diabolical's also quite a bit of damage on that guy. Dude, the Soulfire build is so good. I love the damage that it did at the very beginning. This is so good. Oh my god.